Hello, everybody. Give me a second. Let me get a good angle here. Get situated. Wait for everyone to hop on. Don't mind me. Sorry to everyone catching the replay of that. How's everybody doing? Welcome. Okay, we're going to talk about law of attraction, law of assumption, manifesting as always. So as you guys hop on, feel free to say hello. That way I can see who's here with me. That way I can say hello back to you. Let me know if this is your first time catching me live or if you're returning, let me know, okay? Because I like to know who's in here with me. We're going to have a good talk about manifesting, law of assumption, all those things. So whatever questions you have, essentially this is live coaching, okay? And so for those of you who may not know me, welcome. My name's Hannah. I'm a manifestation coach. I work primarily with mindset and emotional regulation to help you manifest what you want, okay? So just so you guys know, before we get started here, the replay of this will be posted, uploaded to my YouTube channel. You can find that linked at the top of my page. So all my free resources, my YouTube channel, my subliminal channel, as well as all of my paid offers like different subliminal affirmation bundles, working with me one-on-one, some of my online self-paced programs, personal readings, email coachings, live sessions, all those things are linked at the top of my page, okay? So you can check that there. Welcome everyone. Hello to everyone hopping on. How's everyone's summer going? Feel free to drop comments down below. Let me know where you're tuning in from, if this is your first time, if you're returning. I love to say hi and know who's here with me. Future ex-wife vibes. Dying. Okay, guys. Happy Saturday, everyone. So feel free to let me know who's here, where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions about manifesting, law of assumption specifically, let me know, okay? If not, I'll just probably, to get us started, start kind of riffing on a subject and then let you guys chime in with any questions, and you can ask specific questions as it pertains to this, okay? I'll do my best to answer everything. Everyone's saying future ex-wife vibes. That's weird because I'm not ex-wife. I am definitely wifey and I am taken, guys. Sorry and thanks. But I'll take the compliment, you know. Manifest my revenge story. Okay, so that I'm not going to speak on because I'm not interested in speaking on that, okay? So first time viewer, Goose says, thanks for hopping on. You're welcome. And thanks for letting me know. Welcome. Okay, let me talk about why we're not talking about revenge. Okay, let me talk about that. Okay, so that is a very and this is my personal opinion on this, of course. Seeking revenge is a very disempowered energetic state to be in. Essentially, the mindset behind that is you feel like a victim. Okay, so when you really understand law of assumption and manifesting and law of attraction, you understand that you're creating your reality. No one's in control over you. No one has permission to control you in your reality unless you give them that permission, okay? So the idea is that you're creating your reality with your thoughts and your beliefs and your emotions, but really essentially your thoughts, because thoughts that you continue to think become beliefs, and the way you're thinking and the stories you're telling yourself all day affect how you feel. And those things combined essentially are like your point of attraction, your vibration. But really, in simple terms, if we want to talk about it in terms of affirming, in terms of a law of assumption, is whatever you believe to be true is what will be true for you. Whatever you focus on is what you will experience more of. So if that's what you want to experience in life, a revenge story, if you want to experience that, then have at it. But I typically find that most people who find my content and find law of assumption manifesting, it's because you want to be empowered. You want to own your power to decide how your life's going to work. And when you really understand that your thoughts are creating, you don't really have time for revenge because you understand that everyone's you pushed out. People, meaning, if you're not familiar with that term, essentially, thank you for the rose, Cassie. Thanks guys for being here. Essentially, people only can reflect back to you your beliefs about yourself. So if you believe people are going to abuse you, that's going to be your experience. If you believe that things don't work out for you, that's going to be your experience. But if you believe you're empowered, if you believe that you create your reality, then you can choose really supportive beliefs, meaning you can choose to believe that everything's working out for you. You can choose to believe that you're always treated with respect, that nothing threatens you in your reality. You know what I mean? And when you understand that, it's kind of like, you don't really have time for petty shit. Like, the drama's not so interesting to you anymore because you're kind of like vibing on another level. Does that make sense? But I do want to say, you know, like, there's no right or wrong. Like, you get to choose. But yeah, I'm not going to teach you how to manifest a revenge story because that's not like what I do. So that was a good little riff. Let me scroll through the comments, see if I missed anything interesting. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. As just questions, keep them to manifesting and law of assumption. That's what I'm going to answer here, okay? For anyone new hopping on, the link in my bio has all the ways to work with me, all my tools, all my programs, a YouTube channel where you can catch this replay and my other past replays of my lives for free, uploaded there. Some of these questions I don't feel like answering because they're just not like aligned with me. So give me a second. I need my moderators on here because I like truly don't care to block anyone. I'm just gonna like ignore these. Jaleesa, this is a good question. Can you speak on sleep tapes? Yes, definitely. Okay, so sleep tapes, I'm a fan of these. I don't use them consistently anymore, but I will say I did for like at least a solid year and a half, and they helped me greatly. So the idea behind sleep tapes, and if you're not familiar with what this is, guys, it's essentially either an affirmation or subliminal track that you will listen to overnight while you sleep, okay? So the reason why this works, it's scientifically proven to work. I'll tell you for myself, it works, and it's worked for many of my clients. Not all of my clients use the sleep tapes, but this is something that I really do. I advocate for this because I really like it. What this does is it reprograms your subconscious mind. So our mind is split up into two sections. One is your conscious mind, which is like 5%. The other is your subconscious mind, which is 95%, even more, really. Hang on, guys, 1 second, because it's getting really hot with the ring light. I'm just going to open the window. I'm going to be right back and keep explaining this. Give me a second. Okay, that's better. Okay, so sleep tapes, your conscious, subconscious mind. So essentially your conscious mind is your logical mind, is your reasoning mind. And like I mentioned, it's 5% maximum. So not very much when you look at this big picture, right? Your subconscious mind is what's like running the show. It holds all the programs, all your programming and conditioning that you received throughout your entire life. Now, they say that from ages 0 to 7 is when the majority of your subconscious programming is formed. Your brain's like a sponge. It's absorbing everything. It's where you really kind of come up with your worldview, the way you view yourself as it pertains to, in relation to other people, to the world, to life, how life works for you, essentially. And then you go through life and, you know, you have different experiences and your brain categorizes those experiences. And it's kind of like the default programming that's running in the background, okay? And if you understand there's a term called the reticular activating system, which essentially is your brain can only process so many bits of data at any given point in time. And so what it does in order to be efficient is it looks for evidence to support the programs that are running in your subconscious mind. So let's say you have a subconscious program that love is difficult, that like men don't want to commit. This is like a common one I see with females, or like all men cheat or whatever. Like you have some, I would say, negative or unwanted program running. Your brain is scanning, looking for evidence of that. So you're going to, the more evidence you see of this is going to strengthen that belief system in your brain of, oh, wow, all men are assholes, all men are cheaters, whatever. I'm not saying this is my belief. I'm actually gay. I'm not even straight. So it doesn't even matter. But I'm just using this as an example, right? Another like good neutral example that won't trigger anyone would be like, let's say you decide, oh, I want to get a red Mercedes. Well, I mean, maybe you don't see red Mercedes out on the road very often, but all of a sudden, because you've decided that you want that and you're intentionally looking for that, maybe you've researched online, maybe you've test driven one, all of a sudden you're noticing every time you go on the road, you're seeing red Mercedes and you're like, they weren't there before. Well, here's the thing. Quantum physics states that it all exists. Every probability and possibility already exists in the quantum field. Those red Mercedes were already on the road. You just weren't tuned into them because maybe you were driving a white BMW and that's more of what you saw, or you just weren't looking for them, right? But now that you've selected that program, that's what you're starting to see. Okay, so what happens is like, you want to become, this is a long-winded answer to this question about speaking about sleep tapes and how to reprogram your subconscious mind, but this is like a great segue into like this live and speaking about these topics, right? But essentially what happens is when you become aware of this, when you become aware of law of assumption, what you want to do is start noticing, what are your stories? What are your patterns? What's showing up in your life that's good and maybe not so good? Maybe something that you're ready to shift. Like, do you like your stories as it pertains to love? Do you like your stories as it pertains to your body and your health and your physical appearance? Do you like your stories as it pertains to money and success and finances? Do you like your stories as it just pertains to like relating to other people or just how life works for you? And then you intentionally choose new stories, right? Just like I was talking about with the car, you decide you want a new car and then all of a sudden you start seeing it everywhere. Okay, so you need to intentionally choose what you want. So what we do with sleep tapes is essentially, let's say you've identified that there are some unfavorable programs running in your brain. You have these stories going on that you don't want to be true for you anymore. So what you want to do is override those old stories with new stories that are more empowering, that are in alignment with where you want to go. Like, you are financially set for life. Money flows to you easily. Money flows to you consistently. Money's really easy for you to make. You're successful. You don't have to work for money. You're already rich, whatever. You have your perfect body. You enjoy perfect health. You look and feel amazing. You can eat whatever you want. You're lean, you're fit, you're toned. You have your ideal body. You're the most gorgeous person anyone's ever seen. You're a love magnet. You're in the relationship of your dreams. You always attract the perfect partner for you, and they're always loyal and committed to you, and they choose you. There's no third party. Nothing's in the way, right? Like, these are some typical stories that people typically want to tell. So if you just use your conscious mind and you try to affirm that to yourself, it's likely going to feel like work. Can it be done? Yes, it can. Have I done it? Yes, I have. And I still do it. Because I don't have so much resistance now, because I've been doing this for a long time, where I truly do understand and believe that my thoughts do create my reality. But specifically in the beginning, when you have a program that's really ingrained in you and you have a lot of evidence to support it and it feels so difficult, it's like you want to tell the new story, but then your conscious mind goes, yeah, but, and then it kind of like, if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, she would say, like, argues with your limitations, right? It's kind of like your logical mind, that 5%, like, denies, it rejects the new story because it says, no, but look, this is the story, okay? So it's to override that, okay? So the whole thing about sleep tapes is that when you are asleep, your conscious mind is asleep. Your subconscious mind's wide open. And it's like, just kind of like when you were a kid and you were really easily programmed. It's so much easier to program your mind by bypassing the logical, reasoning, conscious mind and go straight to your subconscious. Because again, that's like the 95% or more of your brain. Okay, so one really common way in this community to do that is through using sleep affirmation tapes. You can also use subliminals, okay? Because that's a whole 8 hours at least on average where your conscious mind is not going to fight the new affirmations. It's not going to fight the new story. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between real or not real, because really it's all real. It all exists. And what you're going to experience is what you focus on. and the stories you tell. So using affirmation tracks or subliminals while you sleep is a really great way to program your subconscious mind without a lot of effort. I do always suggest to my clients, though, to intentionally affirm throughout the day too. Like when you notice something that you don't like, instead of focusing on that, instead of telling disempowering stories around that, switch it. And if switching to the new story feels like your logical brain is rejecting that, if it feels like it's causing resistance, just use general affirmations like everything's working out for me, my life's getting better and better. I don't have to figure this out. I'm allowing this to be worked out for me. It's all being worked out for me in my favor. You know, I don't need to do anything in order to receive my manifestations. They're already mine. You know, just go really general to reduce that resistance, and then stay consistent with your affirmation or subliminal tracks at night, okay? You can also, another thing I suggest to clients is you can listen to subliminal tracks throughout the day if you would like, if they're relaxing for you. You can also listen to affirmation or subliminal tracks in a meditative state or while taking a nap or something during the day. Okay, that's like my personal favorite way. That's how I get great results, because I just I do my general affirmations throughout the day. Anytime I'm tempted to tell a disempowering story or complain, I do my best to catch myself and I'm like, nope, actually everything's working out for me, or nope, actually everything's perfect, or actually this is already resolved. My issues resolve themselves. I don't even have any issues. Like, my life's great and everything's getting better and better and everything I want is on the way. You know, just general things. I just really strengthen that, essentially strengthening my self-concept and remembering that I'm a powerful manifester and that I get to choose, I get to decide. And then you can just like let the affirmation tracks work their magic at night, okay? Although I do want to add this, like, are they necessary? I don't personally believe they are. I personally don't believe that anything is necessary in order to get what you want, other than you to just really claim it in essence. And if that feels hard for you, if you're someone who does not feel in control of yourself and your reality, I would just work on building your faith, work on telling the new story, and work on, you know, did I say boosting your faith? Just really work on releasing resistance and not focusing on what you don't want. You can definitely just manifest by releasing resistance. That's actually what so much of this is. But the thing is, our minds get really like busy. They want to tell a story. They want to either look at things and tell a story about it, or create a new story. So it's like you may as well let your brain work for you, and all the effort that you would put into spiraling or thinking negative or complaining, you can put into telling the story the way you want it to be. And it's going to sound delusional at first, of course, but the thing is, your brain learns with repetition, you know? Sorry, I'm just want to shut this annoying dude out. Hang on. I'm not even going to read his comments. I just see that he's like spamming the comments and they are rude. And he clearly is not on this wavelength. So I just want to keep it. I really want to just be here for you guys who get this and like want to get it and answer your questions. So give me a second. Sorry. Okay. So let me know if that makes sense. By the way, guys, if you like subliminals and affirmation tracks, I do have some. I have some for free on my YouTube channel, which is linked in my bio. I also have some bundles of them where it's like bundles of both subliminals and affirmation tracks. I've just started doing those. You can purchase them for download. They're yours to keep. So you can listen to them as often as you want. Use them however you like. So you can check those out. I did one for your dream body. And what was the other one? Money mindset. And I'm going to do more. I'm going to do some on like building faith, releasing resistance, probably manifesting SP, because people ask me about that all the time. You guys can always like comment on my videos if you have requests, because my idea is to like build up a good library of those and do like a membership down the road too. Let me see if there's anything. But yeah, let me know if that was helpful so far. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to catch up on these. Did I manifest my husband, or did my husband manifest me? Well, I manifested my current relationship, and my partner manifested me too. Hi, Dave. Welcome. Dave from Alaska. I got a wife. Well, I'm not married yet, but yes, basically. Soon. Manifestation is for us girlies. You guys crack me up. Sorry, I'm just reading through these guys. Can I speak on manifesting an SP who does not know you yet? Okay, so circumstances don't matter. So likely in law of assumption, you've heard this, circumstances don't matter. Okay. Essentially what you need to know about this and about manifesting anything that seems like perhaps out of the realm of possibility for you, all you need to know is that you're creating your reality. It's literally like a dream, okay? I've heard some people explain it like as a simulation, you know, a dream, whatever, however it makes sense to you. Essentially, you're experiencing life through your conscious awareness, okay? So there is nothing that's off limits to you. There's nothing that's right or wrong. You are the creator of your reality. You're the creator of your experience. You're the one dreaming your dream. Okay, so you get to choose what you want to tune into. It's all possible. It all exists. You can have any combination of things. You can have it however you want, okay? Best way, and then someone else says, best way to manifest a SP in your opinion. Okay, I'm going to tie these two together. So the best way to manifest for you is to find your own path of least resistance, okay? Now, when I work with clients, some do really well being super specific, and then some find that being super specific creates a lot of resistance, okay? So I'm going to share with you some little workarounds with this to be specific but not be attached, okay? So here's the thing. You can choose whatever you want. If you saying something specific like, oh, I'm with this specific person, feels out of the realm of possibility for you for whatever reason, whether or not this is because they don't even, as far as you know that you exist, or perhaps like you're not on speaking terms or you're blocked or whatever, like whatever it is, or they live halfway across the world, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You can have it. But if you affirming that you have that specific person creates resistance for you because it doesn't seem possible, you can work around it a couple ways. You can work around it by saying, I know I get to have the relationship of my dreams. I know that I am a powerful creator. I know that I get to have whatever I want. I know that whatever I assume to be true is what's going to become true for me. I know that I get to choose what I want and I receive it. I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to understand how. I don't have to know when. I just know that this is mine and I'm choosing it. You can kind of do these rampages, like these little, Abraham Hicks would call it, these little rants, these little self-talk sessions to build that up, okay? You can also just do any manifesting methods that work for you. So for me, I like to sit down and write like best case scenario. Like I'd be like, okay, if there were no limits for me in this area, how would I want it to go? And I'll let myself get as ridiculous and detailed as possible. I really like scripting, you know, like I'll put out exactly how I want it. Like, let's say I'm creating a movie for myself and I'm going to star in it, and like, what's the role I want to play, and nothing's off limits. So I get to do that, and then I can just be like, that's done. That's mine. I don't have to come back to this unless I want to. And I can read through it if it feels good and just have fun with it and like kind of play make-believe and be like, yeah, I mean, it's possible. Why not? Or I can just write down and be like, that's done. The universe is handling it. And then anytime any objections come up in my mind, I'm like, nope, the universe is on it. Like, that's mine. I already decided, you know, and then just strengthen your belief in between. You can just fucking repeat over and over and over again, like, that you're with that person, they're in love with you, of course they are, like it's happening, like you don't need to figure it out, like life is making it happen for you, everything's being rearranged to make this true. Really what you need to do in this situation is, and any situation, is understand that you choose what you want and you get to have it. And it doesn't matter how circumstances look. Circumstances are only based off your old story, and you're free in each moment to shift your story and choose to believe something else. And oftentimes just knowing and affirming to yourself that like it is possible is enough to release a lot of resistance, okay? So you can just, if something seems impossible, just be like, I know that this is possible. I know that anything is possible. Okay, so you just want to find the techniques that work for you. You could try, if you like visualizing, you could visualize a scene. I wouldn't even visualize like a scene of like, so to answer your specific question, you said how to manifest someone who doesn't even know you exist yet. You know, I wouldn't recommend doing a scene where you meet and it's like the first thing. I would jump way to the end, kind of like Neville Goddard says, and envision a scene that implies that you guys are already in each other's lives. You've been in each other's lives for a long time. So when I was manifesting love, for example, I didn't envision like, oh, how I'm going to meet this person or bump into them or what are they going to look like. I envisioned a scene way down the road. I envisioned myself in my dream home with my love behind me, holding me, being like, you're so beautiful. I'm so happy to be here with you. You're the love of my life. I envisioned an engagement ring, a wedding band on there. Like, you know, I envisioned the whole thing. And like, you know, I had all the senses involved in it. Like I went way to the end and everything's unfolding for that for me because I decided, you know, and I didn't know I wasn't manifesting a specific person. I was manifesting love. I was manifesting a life partner. I was like, okay, I'm ready to meet my wife. And that was like what I did on my end. And like very quickly things happened. Okay. So, and it's still unfolding, you know? And so I think some of that too is like understand there is an unfolding. There doesn't always have to be, like you can quantum leap, like you can have it however you want, but I do find that the more detached you are from it, the better. So just like knowing, like landing in that certainty that you can have what you want, that nothing's off limits and that everything's working out for you and that you don't need to figure it out. Like that really helps you be magnetic. So the more detached you are, the more magnetic you are. It's not detached like you don't care. It's like you do care. You know it's yours, but you know it's yours because you've decided. Essentially, you've put your order in and you know it's on the way. You don't know how, but you just know that you're going to get it and you just enjoy your life in the meantime and not worry and obsess over details. Okay? Does that make sense? So let me give you guys another tip that I give my clients when they're manifesting love or manifesting an SP. And this kind of goes hand in hand with being magnetic, is to focus on you. So yes, you can affirm for a specific person. You can affirm for how you want them to treat you. You can affirm for the type of relationship you want. But I also really, really stress to affirm for your self-concept as it pertains to like your self-love and what an amazing catch you are. Because what I've seen clients do time and time again, and I've actually done this myself earlier on in my journey, is manifest in a specific person or manifest in a relationship and then kind of sabotage it because deep down you don't feel worthy of a relationship because you kind of didn't work through your issues, right? So you want to work on things such as self-worth, like I'm worthy and deserving of love. Like how amazing you are. Like I'm a beautiful person. I have an incredible heart. I'm worthy of being loved and adored. Like I'm so easy to love. I'm unique. There's no one like me. I'm not in competition with anyone. I am in a league of my own. I'm easily committed to. I easily attract love. Like I'm beautiful inside and out. I'm such a catch. Like affirm these things. Does that make sense? And then any like issues that you've had in the past as it pertains to love, like go ahead and address those too while you're manifesting in your SP or just manifesting in love. You know, like if you've had issues around fidelity, if you've had issues around commitment, you know, like affirm for those. Decide what you want your story to be. My partner only has eyes for me. My partner is fully committed to me. Like there was no back and forth. My partner met me and knew right away that I'm the one. My partner is so proud to be with me. My partner knows they could not do better than me. Like I'm the best they could ever have. My partner always shows up for me. My partner shows up for me consistently. I'm showered with love and attention and affection and gifts because I deserve that. I'm amazing. I'm the best. I'm the best there is. Like things like that, you know? So this to me, in my opinion, and what I've seen with my clients and what I've done personally is like the best way to do it. Like affirm for what you want, like sit down, script, rant, whatever you want to do around what you want. You can get specific, but you can also be more general. And then also address any things pertaining to that subject that seem like a block to you. I want you to affirm the opposite, or just decide what you want your story to be. So let's use money for an example. Like if money's felt hard for you, if money feels inconsistent, or if you think you can only make money through your job, or you feel like there's never enough money, or, you know, whatever. Like these are just some common things with money. You can sit down and literally create the opposite of that story. And again, the idea with this is you want to repeat it until you start to believe this new story over the old one, you know, like, no, money flows to me consistently. I'm a money magnet. Money's just drawn to me. I have multiple streams of income. Making money is easy for me. Manifesting money is easy for me. In fact, I don't even have to do anything for money because money just is drawn to me. I attract money because I have a wealthy vibration. I attract money because I said so. Money comes to me in amazing ways, incredible ways, in surprising ways. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. I have a steady, reliable income. My income's constantly increasing. I'm super successful. I don't have to work. I'm already rich. You know, like these are some great, like, these are ones I personally use. These are ones I've had clients use. So is this making sense? Kind of like the ways to talk about things to manifest it. I really teach so much on affirming. I teach mostly on your self-talk, becoming aware of the unfavorable stories you're telling, really intentionally telling the story the way you want it to be, and then working on your emotional regulation, meaning when you're triggered, remaining soft. And because here's what happens when you're triggered, your brain wants to go to the old story. And the thing is, your brain is creating your reality. So you don't want to keep creating more of what you don't want. You want to create what you want. And in those moments when you're triggered, when you have the old story in your face and you don't freaking like it, it's going to sometimes be difficult to muster up the courage to tell the new story. It's going to feel like two conflicting things. If you can do it, have at it. But where I've seen my clients have the most success, and I still do it this way, is when I feel triggered. I just relax, I soften, I breathe. I acknowledge, you know what, this is just the old story. This has no power over me. It's okay. This is allowed to exist. Like, I don't have to fight against this. I don't have to resist it. It's just old programming. And I've already chosen what I want. And all I need to do is relax and allow this new story to fall into place for me. And then once I'm in a calm, neutral space, I'll go in and affirm for what I want. I'll be like, you know what, actually, that's not how things go in my reality. That's the old story. My new story is that everything works out for me. And I don't have to work hard for it. I don't have to whatever, like it's just happening for me. And I get to just relax and enjoy my life and receive what I want. This is what I'm personally working through. Like I'm right now in this moment, just like transparency, working through like, cause I'm very good at like manifesting specific things, but I'm working on just upping my self-concept in the sense of like, just knowing that I just get to receive good things without even trying like that. Because I noticed that I personally had a fear that if I stopped working hard at things, that things would fall away. Like if I stopped, you know, like doing things as far as like maintaining my body or as far as maintaining my business, like things like that, that they would fall apart. And I'm like, well, is that a belief system that's supportive to me? I'm like, is this what I want to believe? I'm like, no, I don't want to be right about this. I want to know that I can explore whatever I want to explore in each phase of my life, and I can show up when I want with my body. I can eat what I want. I can eat healthy things. I can kind of be on a diet if that feels good. I can work out if that feels good, and I can rest, and I can go on vacation and eat whatever I want, and that's fine, and I'm not going to gain any weight, you know? Or like I can show up in my business and that's great, but I can also take a break and my content's going to keep working for me and sales are going to keep coming in and, you know, the money's going to keep going and everything's going to keep flowing and working. You know, these are things that I've just been working on. So you just get to choose. You get to choose. It's so easy once you really understand this. So if you're someone who really is struggling with the concept of understanding that you get to choose how it goes for you, I would work more on your self-concept as it pertains to like who you are as a manifestor, understanding your power, like really reclaiming your power to decide. So, you know, things like I choose what I want and it comes to me. I don't have to control it. All I have to do is decide what I want and then relax and allow it in. And then good general ones, like everything's working out for me. I'm lucky. Like, of course it's going to work out. Of course I can have what I want. Another one I love is other people have what I want, so I get to have it too. Like, why not me? Like, it's essentially like deciding to stop seeing yourself as separate from what you want and start allowing yourself to merge with it. You know? Let me know if this makes sense. I see some hearts. Let me know. I'm glad we pared this down to like a nice small group. Because it's so much easier for me to like read actual good comments instead of having to like scroll through the weirdos, you know? There's usually a few when you log on first. Someone says, I heard to speak as if you already have it, not like you're pleading or praying for it. You know, honestly, it really just depends on the person. Like, yeah, for sure. If you can like believe you already have it, if you can know for sure that it's coming to you, that's great. So when we talk about embodiment and the law of assumption, it's essentially like an identity that you're taking on. So let's use money because this is a great one. Let's say you've struggled with money, you tend to carry debt, you know, that's your old story. Money's hard or inconsistent or there's never enough. And you're now choosing to be wealthy. You're like, I want to be wealthy, I want to be affluent, and I want to be debt free. And I want to be financially set for life, and I want multiple streams of passive income, and I want to never worry about money again. Like, that's a whole identity shift, right? So one way to do that is to, excuse me guys, let me turn this off. One way to do that is to just start telling the new story. And anytime you get a bill in the mail, or you look and your credit score is not where you want it to be, or whatever, or your bank balance is not exciting, you know, instead of reaffirming, being like, oh my God, I'm so broke, or oh my God, money's so hard, or why can't I manifest money? You're like, no, it's okay. I've already assumed the identity. I've chosen to be rich now. I'm now wealthy and abundant. My 3D reality is just catching up. You know, like, stay loyal to that new identity. And I promise things some way, somehow will shift for you. You'll be amazed. Sometimes it happens in a very logical unfolding. Sometimes it happens in big, crazy ways. Like, you never know. Like, you can quantum leap onto a new timeline. Like, I've done it in areas of my life. I've done it where it was like, everything looks like it was going to shit. Things in my life looked like they were falling apart. And I was like looking more and more impossible. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm choosing to still believe, because like, what else can I do at this point? And like, sure enough, something always comes through, right? Like, so you can do that, but you can also just choose what you want and then be like, you know what? I'm certain it's mine. You can acknowledge that it's not here yet. Like it's here, it's within you, but like, there is a point in time usually where it looks like it's not there on the outside, which is why you decided you want that thing in the first place. It's just kind of like, if you place an order on Amazon, you know for sure you're going to get it. It's not here in this moment, but it's underway, it's on the way. So you can also affirm that, like, it's already on the way. It's on the way. I don't have to worry about it. It's being handled. I know for sure it's happening. I know for sure this is going to happen for me. And that can release a lot of resistance. Essentially, however you view it, you want to be in a non-resistant state. If you're like, I want this thing that I don't have and I can't figure it out and it's not here and blah, 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 that's a very resistant state. You know, it's tense, it's tight. When you are like, oh no, wait, I don't need to. I already have it. I'm already that. I've already chosen. I know for sure it's happening. It's on the way. The answer's always yes. And I've decided, and it's on the way, and it's working out for me, and I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to control it. That's like an open, relaxed, non-resistant state. And it's in that energetic state where things will fall into place for you. You want to think of it as like tension holds your current reality in place. So that's why so many people, when they just let go, if you're someone who can just let go without getting into the mindset stuff, if you can just be happy and be present and just relax, you're gonna find that, and stop trying and striving and stop worrying and stressing. You're gonna find that magic and miracles unfold for you just on their own without you even needing to intend. Yeah? But you can also intend. For a lot of people, that's a big leap. A lot of people don't surrender until they hit like rock bottom, until they really get themselves in a jam, right? Until they're like up against a wall, you know? And I always encourage people, like, don't wait until then. Like, you don't have to wait. You can start now. And you can do that by just introducing these new thoughts and beliefs to your brain. Practicing in your body, being soft and open and relaxed instead of tense and tight. These things, two things combined together, are like so powerful. So that's why I teach mindset, mostly affirming, right? Because you're thinking thoughts all day, every day. Your thoughts are affirmations. And then your energetic state, like your emotional regulation, right? Like regulating your nervous system, not spiraling, these kinds of things. Staying calm. Because that together, just, it's amazing. It is. But you can get there through just one or the other. But both, I mean, it's ideal. So I think I said this earlier, but one of my favorite ways to use affirmation tracks and subliminals is to get in a meditative state. Now, if I'm feeling like I want to sit up and meditate, like for sure I do it. But most of the time I love to just like, you know, after I've done a few things during the day, or I feel a little tired, or I feel like maybe I'm starting to overthink something. I'm like, oh, I just want to clear my energy. I just want to have a reset. I'll lay down flat on the bed. I don't even like to use a pillow because I just like, it's kind of like how people like to be sitting up straight for their spine to be straight for meditating. By all means, do it however you want. There's like no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just sharing with you how I personally like to do it. So I'll lay down totally flat on the bed. I'll like get a blanket because usually I get kind of cold, and I'll put in headphones and I'll just listen to like an affirmation or subliminal track, and I just relax, let myself doze off for a little bit. Like it's usually anywhere from like 20 minutes to sometimes an hour. I don't set an alarm because like I make my own schedule, but you know, do whatever you need to do. And I wake up and I feel so relaxed. If I had any tension that had started to build up in my body, it's gone. Like I feel like I had a massage, like it's amazing. And those beliefs get in there, you know, like the more consistent you are with your new beliefs, with your new story, the more they're going to take over and just start running on autopilot. And they're going to start producing results instead of your old beliefs. You know, those kind of purge out. I don't know what that noise was. Something dropped. Hang on, sorry. I'm going to read through these. I'm beautiful and you like my earrings. Thank you. I appreciate that. Trying to match your frequencies. So I hear a lot of people say match the frequency of what you want. And I think that's true, but I think there's a lot of confusion around what that means. So the way I understand it, just to break this down for people, is going to your end state. So if you already were in the relationship, for example, how would you feel? You'd feel happy. You'd feel loved. You'd be like, what kinds of things would you be saying to yourself? You'd be like, oh my God, I have the best partner. Every time they text you, you'd be like, oh my gosh, they're always texting me. They're always calling me. They're always thinking about me. They love me. If you're a woman and you're wanting to manifest marriage, you'd look down at your ring and be like, oh my God, like, can you believe it? Like, I'm engaged. I'm marrying the love of my life. I'm so happy. You wouldn't be like freaking out about stuff. Like, you know, you'd just be in this calm, relaxed space and you'd be going about your day like a normal freaking person doing normal things. But then there'd also be things that you'd be doing with your person because, hello, they're your person. You're in the relationship, you know? So, you know, you can just kind of be like, I got it in the bag. It's like once you have it, you're not trying for it. You're just enjoying it. And there's a bit of like normalcy to it in the sense of like, it's just who you are now. Like, it's just normal for you. It's kind of knocked off the pedestal. It's not as exciting. Like, it's exciting, but not in the way of like, ooh, is it going to happen? It's more like, ooh, this is mine and it's great and I love it and it's growing every day. Does that make sense? I like to compare it to like when you get like a new car or you make a new purchase. It's like super exciting at first and then the excitement kind of wears off and it just becomes part of your life. Like, it's kind of like that's your standard now. So like I've experienced this with like vehicles, with apartments, like, you know, every time I upgrade, it's exciting at first. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's normal and natural. So it's like each year or so I incrementally increase, like level up, because I do that intentionally, but also because it's like, because I want to keep expanding and leveling up, but also because it's like, well, I got used to that. You're like, okay, I'm used to the Mercedes. I'm used to the BMW. Now I want a Porsche, or, you know, now I want a Range, whatever. Like, you just want to keep increasing. It's like you kind of normalize it. So that's the idea with the affirming, with the scripting, with the techniques, with the visualizing, is to normalize that for yourself. to kind of knock it off the pedestal, to get you on the same vibration of it. Like, have it on the same level as you. So long as you're keeping what you want up here, you're not a match to it. So you either got to knock it down and or knock yourself up. You know what I mean? Like, bump yourself up or knock it down, both. Like, oh, that's easy. Or, oh, of course I can have that. Of course I'm worthy of that. And then think and feel like the person who has it. Even if you can, you know, even if it's not there, you can acknowledge that it's not there, but you're like, of course it's going to happen. So like, before I manifested love, I was like, hey, Ashley, before I manifested my relationship, I was like, there was no doubt in my mind. And I knew it was going to be a great relationship because I went out and got out ahead of it. I looked at what were my relationship hangups in the past. What were the things I didn't like? What were my fears and insecurities? What were the ways people showed up for me that I didn't like? And I literally like wrote the story how I wanted it to be, and I affirmed it, and I allowed myself to get excited for it, knowing that like I was moving towards it and it was inevitable. And it just happened, you know? But I wasn't feeling like desperate or needy in the meantime. I was working on loving myself. I was working on, you know, doing things that were meaningful to me, fully knowing and expecting the love of my life to show up at any point, you know? Can we talk about my eyebrows? Sure. You're welcome, Jaleesa. The Amazon analogy is wonderful. It's not here yet, but I already have it. Yeah, exactly. Like, you've already put the order in. Like, maybe it's not physically here right now, but like it exists. It's in the Amazon warehouse. You've claimed it. You've put your order in, and it's literally en route right now. Like, there's nothing to worry about. Like, you're not going to sit there and frantically like check the tracking and like sit at your door all day. Like, I would hope you just go and do whatever you need to do that day. And anytime you think of it, you'd be like, ooh, it's on the way. I'm excited. This is going to be so fun, you know? Like, just let it be fun and easy. Look at those pretty eyes. Thank you. My eye makeup is so pretty. Thank you, Jackie. I actually just got a new eye palette. So I was like having fun using new ones. It's the Too Faced Born This Way. I love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the compliments. Ashley, just got back from a walk and your back is sweating. 86 at night. What? You know what? I would love some 86-degree weather. Today was like this week we finally had some sunny days. It's been so bad over here in California. It's been like so cold and gray and like windy and cloudy and rainy and like just so weird. So I finally been able to lay out again and I'm like loving it. I'm like, bring on the heat. Because here in California, it gets like, the second the sun goes down, it gets so cold. You need like, I'm going to go walk my dog in a little bit. He's so cute. And like, I'm going to need a sweatshirt and like yoga pants, you know? I miss being somewhere, like I miss Florida in Arizona where it's like warm at night, you know? But then when you're in that, you're like, oh, damn, I'd give anything to have California weather. Duality and contrast, right, guys? You missed my lives. Happy to be here. I've learned a lot from you, believe it or not. Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Thank you. You know what? And you don't have a name on your profile. And I remember you told me your name and I forget it. Summer is hard for me to stay consistent, guys, because I've got a lot going on, a lot of traveling, a lot of things going on. But I will still be going live, just maybe not as frequently as I was. But then once like we get back in the fall, everything will be back on schedule. I'm glad you've learned a lot. Can you unintentionally manifest? Yeah, of course. Like, we're manifesting everything all the time. So, you know, what we're experiencing is just literally our subconscious beliefs being projected out. Okay? And most people, what's going on when they're not aware of how to manifest, when they don't understand that they're creating their reality, they don't understand that the stories they tell, what they're focusing on is what they're going to get more of. So the idea with conscious manifesting, intentionally manifesting, is to catch yourself and be intentional of where you're putting your focus and your energy and your time and your thoughts and your emotions, right? And start feeding all of that creative power into the reality that you want to be true for you, whether or not it seems possible, whether or not you've experienced it before. And if you can't do that, or you don't want to do that, that's fine. At least just stop focusing on what you don't like. Just get to like a neutral space, focus on the good, and that will expand on its own. So you can unintentionally also kind of like, without trying, not that manifesting is trying, but you guys know what I mean. Like, you can manifest so much magic in your life and get on your highest timeline by just focusing on what's going right and stop focusing on what you don't prefer. Because the less you focus on it, the less energy you feed it, the more quickly it's going to die out. Because it can only stay in your reality if you're feeding it energy. Most people just don't understand that, like, they don't understand how to control their mind, Is there anything in my life that you need to work on that you're still waiting on? Well, I'm always manifesting more. Like, of course. I'm never done. Never done. I love manifesting. It's like once you reach one goal, there's always more, Like, it's like, that's why I always encourage my clients, like, and if you're a manifestation master, this, I'm always like, don't go for the little goal, go for like the big crazy goal, go for the thing that seems unobtainable, because that's just your starting off point. like the universe will always outmatch you. The universe will always outdo you, Like, that in and of itself is a good belief system. Ashley, did you see a comment that I missed? Oh, he saw that about California. Yeah, it's been a really weird year, but whatever, Do you guys have any more questions about this? About manifesting, about law of assumption? Let me know. For anyone who's just hopping on, you'll be able to catch the replay of this live and all my other past lives on my YouTube channel, which is linked at the top of my page, as well as all my tools and offers and ways you can work with me. Okay, I have a ton of stuff. I have self-paced programs. I have one-on-one sessions, email coaching, subliminal and affirmation bundles. My YouTube channel has a ton of free resources on it too, so you can check that out. Oh, this is a good question, Ashley. Hang on. Sorry, I was reading a text. I got distracted. Okay, I've been getting so many. How do you treat signs? I've been getting so many, and they are fun, but I don't want to distract myself from it coming in. It's like, that's nice, universe, but I want to embody that. Okay, so signs, I just let myself get excited. I'm just like, see more evidence that everything's working for me. I notice the synchronicities. So it's crazy because like my girlfriend believes in manifesting too, which for me was like so awesome because I was like, a lot of people believe in this, but a lot of people don't. So it's really fun because we manifest together. Like it's like our belief is what makes it powerful. So we'll sit down and have a conversation. And we're like, okay, what's our goal? What do we want for this next level? And literally it'll be reflected back to us some way, somehow, with like synchronicities and signs, if you will. Sometimes like immediately later that day, within the next couple days, it's like we're invited somewhere and someone has a conversation about it and we get like a key info, like piece of info that we needed, or then this shows up, or it's like, it's crazy how it's happening. Like it's happening like at hyper speed, like it's happening really fast. So, and as it's happening, we're just like, there's still like a lot of unknowns for what we're specifically manifesting together right now. But we're like, well, we know it's happening. We know for sure we're going to get what we want. We don't really know exactly when or how or what it's going to look like, but like we're seeing the signs every single day. And it's like, every time we get the signs, it's kind of like, it's just like you're more guided on your path. So for example, there were a couple in the beginning, it was very vague. We identified this goal we wanted and we were like, how, where, what, like this makes no sense. But we're like, okay, we'll just do our part, research a little, see what opens up, see what feels good. And as we were playing around with certain ideas, we were getting some very crazy signs of like, no, that's a no-go. And at first, actually, she was like a little upset. She's like, oh my gosh. I was like, no, this is a good thing because it was so vague and open and we wouldn't have known what way to go. This is the universe literally being like, no, that's not your highest path. So if you can look at everything as like a sign, as a if it's a no, it's like a redirection. It's like you're still going to get what you want, but it wasn't that specific way that you thought, or maybe now is not the time, And again, this is all open for interpretation. Like, don't agree to this if this doesn't feel empowering for you. But like, this is just my experience and how I believe this and how I experience it. And so it's been like this process of like narrowing it down, and it's been really fun because this has like been testing both of us to really trust the unknown, to be in that period, that kind of like waiting period where you honestly have like, you're just getting the little breadcrumbs. You don't actually know how it's gonna look. You're like doing your part, but you don't really know how it's gonna pan out yet. And just trusting that instead of needing to see the whole path ahead in order to like then lean back and feel safe. Does that make sense? So it's been a cool thing. So every time we like talk about something, like we're seeing evidence of it, like we talk about a car we want, it's all over the road. I saw like 50 of this car in one day. Like it was insane. Then like something started to go wrong with our own car. I'm like, okay, like signs. Then like we were talking about like where we want to relocate, and like all of these opportunities started popping up like that day. It's just, there's been crazy things. Like, so it's just like learning to be okay in the not knowing. But when you see stuff, you can just be like, oh my God, it's working. Like, wow, this is fast. So like, as this has been happening for me, I've been working on building my self-concept of, wow, my affirmations work every single time. My intentions manifest quickly. I'm always guided. I'm always led. I'm always seeing synchronicities. This happens fast. This is exciting. It's always working out. And then just another good belief is like, I'm always getting what I want and better, just know that like, it's always coming to you. What I see with clients a lot, and where people get discouraged, is they'll see other people around them getting the thing they want, or they decide what they want and they're seeing it all around them, but it hasn't come to them yet. A positive way to interpret this is that thing is coming closer and closer to you. It's like literally making its way towards you. So just keep accepting it, keep identifying as the person who gets to have that. So you see other people have it, be like, look, love is all around me. Money and success is all around me. Hot, sexy, healthy, beautiful people are all around me. Like the car I want is all around me. The homes I want are all around me. It's all around me. I see abundance everywhere, and that's coming to me. And you can affirm that, you can be like, yeah, I get to have that too. It's coming closer to me. I'm magnetic to it. It has no choice but to show up, and like get excited about it. And if you're in an unknown, if you're in that like limbo, just the unknown is the fun zone, just like know that it's all possible and it's all being rearranged in your favor, because it really is. Okay, let me read through Ashley's. Oh, okay, wait. What about manifesting something away instead of into your life, like anxiety or depression? Okay, just remind yourself that that's not who you are anymore. Okay, that's your old identity. It's not who you are anymore. So anytime you're feeling anxious or depressed, just be like, that's old programming. That's not who I am anymore. And just stay calm and relaxed. And because staying calm and relaxed is not an energetic match to anxiety and depression, right? It's like the complete opposite. So it's kind of like you can neutralize it with that, just being calm. And maybe find an affirmation that resonates with you. Like, I give myself permission to be happy. Or if you're anxious, you can just affirm like, everything's working out for me. I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to control it. And you can just state, I'm calm, I'm relaxed, I'm happy. Or you can incrementally do it. I'm feeling better and better every day. Affirm your way out of that. Affirm that you're the opposite. And when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling depressed, practice softening and relaxing, Because in a soft and relaxed state, those emotions are going to pass through you instead of you locking them in. It's tension that locks it into place. Okay? So if you're in fear or resistance around the anxiety or the depression, you're going to actually feed energy into it, because fear is a powerful emotion. So if you can just reel it back on in and be like, you know what? Yeah, okay, I'm experiencing that right now, but that's not who I am. I'm not going to latch on and identify with this. Actually, I'm infinite. I get to choose whatever I want. And I'm not choosing to think those fearful thoughts. I'm not choosing to think those depressing thoughts. I'm not telling sad stories anymore, because that's not how I want to experience life. I'm going to tell happy stories. I'm going to relax. I'm going to go do something fun. I'm going to trust. You know, this is how you work yourself out of those emotional states. If this is something you want help with, I would love to help you more, you know, but let me know. Couple manifesting. Yeah, it's super fun. This is the first time I've like done it with someone else. Like I've done it with clients, which is really amazing and powerful and a fun experience, but it's like fun to do it like with a partner where you're manifesting things like for you together. You know, it's fun. It's cool. Like, you know, things that we're both going to share. You know what I mean? Actually, I think I got a download this week. I saw waves gently bringing me closer to the shore, but it's that waiting period. Ride the wave. And as I get closer, it gets easier to persist because I get more and more evidence. Fucking man, this is how it works. It's just so hard at first or it can be hard at first because your brain like resists it so much. But I swear, like, even if you're in disbelief, just persist. Like, there are times where I was freaking affirmed through tears. I was in like a shit situation and I just was affirming the opposite. And when I couldn't affirm the opposite, I couldn't bring myself to do that. I was like, this is working out because I'm an amazing person and I have a good heart and I deserve to have this work out. And whenever I felt really low and really couldn't do it, I would like kind of lean more on faith in like a religious sense, in the sense of like, I'm opening myself up to divine grace. I'm allowing God, the universe, whatever, to handle the situation. I'm like literally letting my soul lift me up and out of this situation and carry me over to like a calm place. You know what I mean? Like whatever you need to do to keep like aligning with a higher timeline, do it, persist, because it literally is just repetition. And yeah, you can work the emotional aspect of this, right? Like the embodiment piece, you can do that too, to kind of help, you know, merge the two, help it happen quicker. But if you just released resistance, if you just surrendered, if you just felt good, or if you just affirmed and persisted, whatever it was, if you just did one of those, you would get there. But when you do the two together, it's so powerful. And it's like riding a wave. It's like not resisting life, understanding that, you know, you're always expanding and growing. So there's always going to be something that you're outgrowing, right? And there's always going to be something else that you want to grow into. And if you are making where you are at wrong, you're automatically in resistance to it. So if you can just look at it as like, okay, like this isn't good or bad. I don't need to fight against this. I don't need to resist it. I don't need to tell bad stories about it. I don't need to be attached to it. I can just be like, okay, I'm ready to move on. That's okay. And like not make it mean something crazy. And like when you see little bits of like the old story, like it doesn't mean anything. Like it so doesn't matter, you know? Like it's just so far behind you. It's like the more you tap into the new identity of who you want to be, the more you allow yourself to expand into that. It's like you don't even have time to look at that shit anymore because it's just so not who you are. You're so far removed from it, and it gets so much easier, and it triggers you less and less, and you feel more and more certain because you're practicing being this person, and it's like it takes over. And it is kind of like a magical experience when you're experiencing it, especially for the first time, because it's like, whoa, like it just kind of surpasses words. It's like, I guess kind of like that passage in the Bible where they say the peace that surpasses all understanding, because it's like you're just at peace with things. You're certain of where you're going, even if you don't really know what it looks like. You know everything's working out for you. You know you're not stuck. The old stuff doesn't mean anything about you. You're less and less triggered. When you are triggered, you judge yourself for it less and less, you know, like it's you have to really practice this. A lot of people stay stuck really trying to conceptualize, trying to understand it logically. And it's like, just start. Whatever you're doing, just start, you know, commit to a practice, whether it's affirming, whether it's visualizing, whether it's working on your self-concept, whether it's scripting, whether it's just practicing regulating your nervous system, whatever you're going to do, whatever resonates with you, or if you want to do them all, just be consistent and stop always looking for the answer, because when you're looking for the answer, you're essentially embodying the version of you who doesn't have it and doesn't trust that you can get it and doesn't think you know what to do. Of course you can like work with coaches. Of course you can follow people who are inspiring. Like, I'm intending that if you're here, this is helpful and inspiring for you. And, you know, but at the end of the day, it's like you have to choose to believe that it's going to work for you. And in those moments where you don't believe, I just encourage you, affirm and persist, affirm and persist. Just like feel like I am only available for this to work out amazing. I'm no longer available for things that don't feel good, you know? Simply because like you get to have an amazing life. Like, why not? Why not you? Like I refuse to believe that, you know, you're here to suffer. I refuse to believe that you're here to have a boring life, or, you know, watch people around you get what you want and you not get it. Like, I will not buy into that belief system, because I know better. And at some point you just got to make that decision of like, I'm fucking going to get what I want, you know? Let me go back and read these. Hang on. Thanks for all the love, guys. Oh yeah, I will upload this on YouTube, Ashley. No worries. Great affirmation. I don't have to control this anymore. Isn't that a good one? That's one that I freaking tell myself all the time. I still have to work on that one, you know? Fun zone. Sorry. I'm like getting... Okay, Ashley, so many auto health success stories lately and weddings. Thanks. You're welcome. And yeah, it's for you too. Of course it is. Affirm that every time you see someone experiencing success outside of you, be excited for them and be like, and I'm next. Matthew McConaughey said something inspiring recently. My career took off when I didn't need it. Right? I love him so much. Ashley says he's a low-key sage. Yeah, he is. I want to read his autobiography. They have it on Amazon. You know what? I had it in my save for later. You're inspiring me to read that now. Yeah, it's like when we need something, we repel it. Point blank period. We repel it. And the reason why is because when you're in that desperate energy, when you're like super thirsty for it, you are hardcore embodying the person who does not have it. The person who this is a struggle for. And so this is what I, like when I was talking earlier about what I've been personally working on, like solidifying in my own self-concept lately, is I was like, I identified that I have a lot going on as far as thinking I need to keep working in my business. And it was like, well, okay, great. We're at this point. I've manifested what I wanted as far as being in my purpose and like having money coming in and helping people and like, you know, making a living off this. And I'm like, but what if it was already just running itself? Because that's like, for me personally, my dream is like, that's why I've moved a lot of stuff to like content and like online programs and stuff, like things that people have lifetime access to, because I'm like, wouldn't it be great if my businesses were just running themselves and everyone was getting the help they needed and everything was at like a price point that was super affordable for everyone, and I could just go on vacation because it's like summer and I'm taking trips now, and I didn't have to worry about if I was going live or not. Like, what if everything just kept growing and flowing and like it was just creating abundance for everyone? Like, wouldn't that be a vibe? And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, of course. Like, and I had to kind of work through any guilt I had around thinking that I needed to like consistently be putting manual labor into it. And I was like, well, why? Like, why not? I'm creating my reality. Like, you know, I've already kind of broken out of that matrix of thinking I need to go to a 9-to-5. Like, why not break out of this current matrix I'm in of thinking I need to consistently always work on my business, and that if I don't, it means something about me, or I'm not worthy, or, you know, whatever. I was like, so I've been affirming, like, you know, for stuff along like the lines of that and how I want it to be, and that I don't need to do more to get more, right? So it's like I'm working on really doing less and receiving more. So it's amazing. It's like, because like on that note of like what Matthew McConaughey said about like my career took off when I didn't need it, it was like, well, if it already was like super established the way I wanted it to be, if everything was just like, if my businesses were just running themselves on autopilot all the time, consistently, like, would there really be anything to be done? No, it would be like I've already like built my legacy. Like, it's already done. Like, I'm already like totally financially independent and created the impact, and it's just growing every day. Like, wouldn't that be like next level goals? So, and it's like, well, when you already have it, you don't need it. It's like you already are embodying the state. You've already claimed the identity. You've chosen to put on, in the Bible, they say like throwing off the old man and putting on the new man. You've thrown off that old identity of someone who doesn't have it, because only if you didn't have it would you need to work for it. But when you have it, it's already done. It's like you get to chill, you get to lean back. Like, it's done. It's who you are. You're reaping all the benefits, like, right? So it's like the switch you make in your mind when you're ready for the next level of whatever it is you want to manifest. Reading through these, hang on. Kira says, I saw this thing that said if you have anxiety when manifesting, use your anxiety as a sign to affirm. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, whenever you're feeling anxious, it's because you're, it's like anxiousness, fear. When you're feeling triggered, it's your old belief system coming up, and your old belief system doesn't match what you want. It's not supporting what you want. So it's like butting heads, and it's creating this really uncomfortable feeling. So that's when you get to choose to drop the old story and just merge with the new one, right? And really, and you can go as general as you want. Like, I don't need to worry about this. That's not my story anymore. Like, everything's working out for me. I don't need to worry. That's where you can go in and affirm that. And affirm in what you want. By the way, guys, I'm going to hop off in just a few minutes. It's kind of late for me. My phone's dying and I don't have my charger here. Ashley says, it's true. We are amazing people with good hearts and we deserve it. Amen. Absolutely. Every single time. If anyone's worthy of it, it's you, Kira, we all deserve to be happy with the things we want. Yes, amen and amen. We do. We do. Let's solidify that in. Everyone here watching this live in the restream, like, you are an amazing person. We are amazing people. Nothing's in our way. Nothing's off limits. You get to have what you want. Let's just agree to drop the struggle and come into agreement with that. What we want is ours, and nothing can stop it. And all this time, even if you've doubted, even if you think you've messed up, even if you've been in fear, even if you feel like you've been blocked, whatever nonsense you think has been in the way, all this time, it's been working behind the scenes for you. And now you just get to relax, ease up, and let it in. Let's let it be easy. Hallelujah. Amen. Let's let it be easy. Yeah? Everyone agree? Let me know. Kira says, I also saw this thing today that said, turn the bad into good and the good into better, which I love. Ooh, that's amazing. I really like that. That's like alchemy at its finest, right? Like, and I love that, because you get to this point where you start having what you want, and then you're like, well, can I have more? It's like, of course. Like, so what I like to affirm is like more and more, better and better, only up and up. Only better. Like, we're never going backwards. We're always going up and up, more and more. Things are always just getting better and better, and it's getting easier and easier. Receiving more and more gets to be easier and easier. Yeah. Ashley says, I feel like God is speaking through you. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, I definitely channel when I'm on these. But guys, like, we all have access to infinite intelligence. It's all within us. The more you relax, the more you trust, the more you're like a clear and open channel to receive. And that's also why it will get easier, Ashley, like kind of like how you've been talking about, like understanding it coming in waves and like, you know, seeing evidence of it everywhere. You're tapping more into your God self when you're in that peaceful state. You know how in the Bible it says, be still and know that I am God? It's like when you quiet your mind and your emotions, you're one with God. You're like tap into remembering that you're God. And when you know you're God, there's nothing to be afraid of, because you can have whatever you want, you know? I like to sometimes reference stuff like from the Bible because I grew up really religious, and it was like really damaging because it was taught to me in such a like shitty, unevolved way, you know? But the Bible is like literally a handbook for manifesting. Kira says, this is very helpful. I'm so glad. Thank you for being here, guys. You all are amazing. Sorry, guys. Hang on. I'm trying to find this. Kira says, I love this. Thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you for being here, guys. Hello, everybody. Okay, Dawn, should you just manifest and let it go? That's a really powerful way. So you can do it however you want. You like can set the intention and then just let it go, in the sense of being like, you're handing it off to the universe. You're handing it off to your inner being. You're like letting life bring it to you. So kind of like, you know, if you put your order in on Amazon, you don't have to keep putting it in. You put it in once and then you let go and you go about your day, because you know it's already en route. It's all happening. It's being packaged up. It's being addressed to you. It's being sent in the mail. The courier's bringing it to you. Like, it's only a matter of time. And then, you know, as you're going about your day, you know, maybe you go to the gym, maybe go run some errands, whatever, and you think about it, you're like, ooh, yeah, that's on the way. That's exciting, you know? Like, that's a really good way. It's not like that you let go in the sense of you gave up. You're like, oh, actually cancel. This is never going to come to me. Let me just cancel this order. Like, no, you put your order in, you're going to get it. It's guaranteed, you know? Does that make sense? You don't let it go in the sense of like give up on it, but you let go of it in the sense of like, you only have to put the order in once. Once is enough. And this is actually something I've been playing around with my affirmations of like, so this is like a way you can script. Some people in the beginning, I liked to script over and over and over in the beginning, and I like to read through my scripts over and over, because I was like, this is my new story, and I'm like ingraining it in my brain. Like, I needed to practice. It was like I was an actress and this was a whole new role for me, and I had to practice to learn how to like be this new person, this new role, take on this new role. But it was like, then once I accepted that that's who I am, now I like understand that I'm a powerful manifester. I get what I want. It's like, I can just intend for something and know it's going to show up. So actually, I think I meant to say this earlier and I forgot, and I forget what it pertained to, but this will be helpful for everyone, I'm sure. Another good way to affirm for things that seem really crazy in order to not introduce resistance to it is like, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be amazing if this happens? Like, wouldn't it be great if like this worked out? Or wouldn't it be great if I manifested this? Wouldn't it be great if this showed up? Like, that would be amazing. And then just like keep on going about your day. That's a really great way to like intend and then like never think about it again. So you can try that too. Play around with that. Let me know how that feels for you, Dawn. Empress. Thank you. That is definitely like the vibe I go for. I read tarot too. So the Empress is like a very beautiful card, like very magnetic, powerful manifesting card. Would you ever do a texting option for coaching? I know you would have to limit it somehow. I know. I've thought about it. I used to do sessions on, what's it called? Why can I not think of it? It's that app. Wow, I'm like having a brain flip here. It's an app where you can send like audio clips, but it was hard because sometimes I'm not a big texter. That's the thing. I don't actually really like texting. Like, I don't text people that much. So it's hard for me, like, you know, but yeah, that's a cool idea though too. I have one-on-one sessions open right now. But yeah, I'll think about it. I've had some people request different things of me. I had people ask for like custom audios and stuff. I've had people ask stuff, so I just need to like play around with some ideas and see. I'm always open to suggestions. Kira says, yeah, definitely. I feel like I need a heads up with myself, but I'm going to tell myself not to worry. Hang on, let me see if I can get a charger just real quick so I can wrap this up without it dying. Okay, I do have one. Hang on. Oops. Okay, so this like, I don't know if my light's doing weird things for you guys now though. My light's like flickering. Whatever, we'll just deal with it. Voxer, yes. Thank you, Ashley. Yes, it was Voxer. Yeah, audio notes are easier for me for sure. Because sometimes if I have a lot of things to say on something, it's like hard to kind of like make it make sense in text. I'm definitely better at just talking than texting. Like when I text my friends, I use audio note frequently if it's like something more than a couple lines that I have to say. Kira says, I do this too. I reread what I write in my journal. Yeah, I really like that method. It's really helpful. It can be really soothing, you know? Like, because hopefully you're writing the story in a really good way, right? So it's going to feel better to do that, you know? Dawn says it makes sense. Good. Ashley says she goes live at least once a week usually. Yeah, it usually is at least once a week, sometimes more. But like right now, like for the next like 2 months, it's going to be really hit or miss because I'm traveling a lot. But yeah, feel free, like if you're not following me, feel free to follow me, guys. That way you stay connected. Also, a great way to stay in touch and up to date with like new things would be to get on my email list. Okay. Ashley, you're on my email list, so you can vouch for it. Like it's not spammy at all. I just like, sometimes I will go like a long time without sending them. And then sometimes I'm good about sending them each week. I just send them however I'm feeling. But it's always like if I have a channeled message that wants to come through or like a love note or encouragement for you guys. And then, you know, if there's anything new that I've launched or any new offers or whatever, it will be at the end of the email, you know, like underneath. Always links for you guys so you can stay up to date. But that's a good way to stay in touch with me too. But yeah, feel free to follow me on here. You also can, if you check out the link in my bio, if you scroll all the way down, that's where you can sign up for the newsletter. Obviously that's free. You can also follow me on YouTube because I upload these lives, the replays on there. And there's like a lot of good content on there from like a long time ago. Kira says, I love to write, which is why I think I like scripting. Yeah, exactly. Same. I like to write and I really like, so I enjoy writing. That's why I like creating my own like affirmation and subliminal tracks because I like writing my own affirmations and then like hearing them. So yeah, you just got to find what technique works for you. Like, any technique will work if you work it. So you want to find the ones that feel most exciting and natural and easy for you. And that can change, right? You might go through a phase where one technique works good for you and then, you know, grow out of it. Like just whatever. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Jay says, hi, Hannah. Hi, Jay. Do you have a YouTube channel or anything? I do. Yep. That is in my description. Or sorry, if you go to my, description box is YouTube. If you go to my profile, there's my link trees there. And my YouTube is linked there. Do I ever go live on YouTube? I don't. And I've really thought about like, maybe I should combine it and figure out how to do live on YouTube and here at the same time. You guys are giving me lots of good ideas today. Thanks, guys. Dawn says, I love the manifestation. Whatever I want wants me more. That's a really good one. Seeking you, you know? You think of like what you want, you're moving towards it and it's moving towards you. You guys, it's like inevitable that at some point you're going to meet, you know? Kira says, yeah, I noticed that I really changed what I like. Yeah, same. I go through phases. I go through phases where I just like don't even affirm. Like it's crazy, and I feel like those are always like the integration phase for me, and then I'll go through phases where I like to hardcore affirm, or I'll go through phases where I affirm very general, and then times where I affirm very specific. I just let myself do whatever I'm feeling, you know. Ashley says, I recorded my own meditation as a voice note today and want to play it with gamma waves from YouTube, but I don't know. That's a good idea, babe. You should do that. It's good. Like the waves are good to get your, like to train your brain, like get you in that, like a more receptive state. It's easier to keep up with the chat on YouTube. Ooh, good idea. Maybe I should. Are you guys all on YouTube? Should I do that? You're welcome, Jay. Yeah, maybe I'll try that. Maybe next time I go live, I'll try on there. I actually, believe it or not, have a bigger audience on TikTok than I do on YouTube, though. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I know you're there, Ashley. Guys, I'm going to hop off because it's late for me. But I want to thank you guys for being here with me tonight. I intend that this was helpful. You guys are amazing, and I love you guys. And I just want to remind you that you're infinite. You get to have whatever you want, and nothing's in your way. And just keep going, keep persisting. It's inevitable, okay? Like you're here on this journey. If you found that manifestation, it's because you're meant to. It's because you're ready. You're ready to intentionally create your reality. And I want to remind you that you've been creating it all along. You just may have been creating it by default, you know, without knowing. And now you're aware, and that's the game changer. And just stay persistent. Keep going. You're going to get there. Okay? And I'm always here to support you guys however I can. Jay says, have a good night. Glad I came across you. I'm glad you did too. And thank you very much. Have a good day as well. A good night as well. You're welcome, Dawn. Kira says, thank you for all the help. You're welcome. Ashley says, good night. Kisses for doggy. Yes, good night. I will say good night to him. I got to take him for a little walk and then, you know, shower and go to bed. Jay says, how'd you learn manifestation techniques? Oh my gosh. YouTube, reading books, like just practicing, trying a bunch of different things, seeing what worked for me, you know? All these things. Okay, guys, I'm going to hop off. Have an amazing night. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys soon, okay? Bye.